talk show left. Lots of stuff to talk about since we last been together. First of all, Mike Richards, thank God, is out as the host of Jeopardy after resurfacing of discrimination and sexual assault allegations during his stint on The Price is Right. Mayhem Balik steps in as a syndicated host and for the special, so now we're stuck with Blossom. Maybe, just hear me out, the universe is trying to tell us something. Obviously, the old stereotypical villain was not the best fit. He had dirty laundry, and now we're stuck with the Big Bang Theory, but it works. All I'm saying is LeVar Burton is the option of choice. Regardless of whether you say his ratings sucked, he was on during the Olympics, who still watches it? We all know Russia's gonna cheat and use another name, and China's gonna cheat and use another name, and America came out on top again. So to all of you that hate it on Twitter, kinda sucks, doesn't it? But Twitter agrees with me. LeVar Burton is the only suitable choice for Jeopardy. I said what I said. If not, LeVar Burton for Wheel of Fortune. I said what I said. Also, we have been on the air for a year. I still don't know how we're still here, especially after the whole Family Feud thing. You would think with our age demographic we would have been canceled by now. But luckily enough we weren't, so that's fantastic. Damn blow-up doll. Also, before we get any further in the show, our Jammer the band leader, Jonathan Baldwin, he recently scored his dream job and moved to Las Vegas to become a band director, and I cannot be extremely proud of you. I really am. He's been with us since the beginning. The entire band has been with us since the beginning. We will miss you guys dearly, and thank you for the 366 days of pure damn chaos. Half the time, you're a lot better at what you do than what I do at my job. So just thought I'd get that out there. Great show this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah and Bethany from Dayton Unknown, they got some stuff they want to promote, and we got some gossip to catch on because it's been a while. We got Jenny and Katie here because things are going to get magical with Magical Mud Ceramics. So you guys, it's jam-packed. Stay right there.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. Protected the weak and defeated the strong. Shown courage and compassion. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
I'm Ariel Winter. If you're anything like me, your pets are not only your best friends, they're part of your family. American Humane, which has been rescuing animals like Cleo here for more than 100 years, has life-saving tips that can make a big difference before, during, and after disasters such as hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, or wildfires. So when disaster strikes, you want to be prepared to protect them. Be sure to microchip or tag your pets. Never leave them behind in a major crisis, and be sure to have an emergency kit ready in your home at all times with a pet crate or carrier, leash, blanket, ID, and medications, their water bowl, and 7 to 10 days worth of food. To find out how to protect your entire family during a disaster and help our best friends in their worst times, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
I don't know which one. We're using that one because I'm an idiot. Bingo. Welcome back to the program. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Jenny and Katie here at my desk, and I'm here to show off my awesome Late Show with David Letterman mug. You will appreciate it. If not, you're uncultured and your parents never loved you. So welcome to the show, ladies. I'm very happy to have you here.
Thanks, Dion.
So tell us a little bit about your business and how did it start? Of course, we already know each other.
Right.
But where are you from, Katie?
I live in Xenia, and I've lived there close to 20 years now, so I guess that's where I'm from.
Are you still in Xenia, or did you finally move to Dayton? Or?
Nope, still in Xenia.
Not going to make the plunge across the county line. Got it. So, Magical Mud Ceramics has been around for about 11 years now.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What gave you the spark to say, this is what I want to do?
Well, I was laid off twice in 1 year back in, 2010? Yeah, about, when all the businesses were closing, when NCR was leaving, when, Workflow One was one of the places I'd worked and gotten laid off from. And I got a separation package from one of them, which I held on to for a little bit, then got laid off from the second job. So I'm looking around Craigslist, and there was an ad for this huge storage locker full of molds and a kiln for $250, which is way cheap. Kilns are over, yeah. So I had to truck down to towards Cincinnati to get everything, but it was from a business that had closed, McKnight Ceramics, and he had passed away, and his kids had literally thrown everything into a storage locker. There was all kinds of broken stuff in there, but week after week, I'd bring all those molds back up, and I found somebody I could share storage space with up here, moved it all in here, and Lily Whitehead is who I shared the space with. And some of the molds that I had were boob mugs. And I was like, what am I going to do with these? And she's like, oh, no, you need to save those because you can make them for breast cancer survivors. So that is how I actually started making boob mugs with pink ribbon on them and the survivor's name on the back. And I started a Etsy store. Etsy was still kind of new, but I knew it was better than eBay at the time because the charges and stuff weren't as high. Well, my husband got to looking at the boob mugs and said, could you make mine looks like a Browns helmet? So I made him one, and that got into making sports items out of these boob mugs. And what guy doesn't want to walk around with a boob and his sports team in his hand, huh?
Well, of course, because men are men.
Right.
Men will always be men.
Right, so that went pretty well. And I started adding more and more items onto the store, just kept growing a little bit at a time. And then about 4 years ago, I get a call from a lady saying, I want to come over and see what you have available to buy. And I'm like, I don't really have a store. I just do everything online. She's like, well, don't you have anything? And I'm like, I have a few things in a box you can come look at. And Katie showed up to my house.
I bullied my way into her door. It was Mother's Day, and I needed a Mother's Day present.
Yep.
And we had so much fun painting some of her pieces prior that I was like, I have to get some of those for my mom. And then that kind of started a friendship.
Yeah.
A friendship based off of breaking and entering. We love it in America.
Bullying.
So we became friends on Facebook. I put a post about how I was going over to Indiana in a big barn to hunt for molds. And she's like, is it okay if I come with you? More bullying.
You want company?
Right.
It's more about I'm getting in the car. But,
Right. So she came with, and business just grew to the point. I was like, are you interested in doing this? She was working at Pet Value at the time.
Yeah, started out as Jackson, turned over to Pet Value, and I was getting to my wit's end, and I was like, you know what, I am ready. And that was about 2.5 years ago that I lovingly say I quit my real job to come and do this, and it's been the best decision.
Yeah. So that's where we are. We had a really big jump in orders during COVID.
sky high
Really
right now.
busy, yeah. I mean, we have trouble staying below 50 orders.
So it's a blessing and a curse at the same
Yes.
time.
You're always pouring ceramics.
To put it in
but-
comparison, when I first met her, she was at 15 to 20 orders regularly.
Yeah,
So that's how much business has grown
yep.
in the 4 years that we've known each other and the 2.5 years that
Yep.
we've worked together.
It's absolutely insane because you've been in my life for so long.
I
I
know.
remember when all this was still in its infancy,
Right.
and there was stuff around the house, and just to see it now to where it's like out of control. I love it for you, but I feel bad for you at the same time.
Right?
But
Right.
I am a huge fan of your work. I love your work. I still
you.
have my eagle that you gave me years ago. I still have it.
Oh, wow.
I
Very
need to get back
cool.
into painting something else. I need a vise, but
Okay. Well, we brought you a gift today.
Oh, you brought me a gift.
One of the things that happened along our adventures with the ceramics, we've done a lot of things for theaters actually around the country, and we got a phone call from a gentleman who wanted us to make 100 piggy banks. I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, we can do 100 piggy banks. Well, we were actually out on a mold hunt when he called. So when I called him back, I started asking him some more questions. You know, what's your name? What's the theater? We want to be in the program. Well, he was from the Roundabout Theater on Broadway. And my piggy banks were broken on stage every night by Marissa Tomei.
That is awesome.
Isn't that awesome? So I brought you one of the piggy banks so you can paint it and give it to your daughter. And then I also brought the playbill because I wanted to show you where we're in the program, right smack in the middle. See, it says special thanks. Isn't that awesome?
As you can see, we have a celebrity within our midst, ladies and gentlemen.
We're Broadway prop makers now.
They're the real deal. You won't find this on Gem City tonight. Just thought I'd throw that out there. That's awesome. I'm
know.
so proud of you.
I don't think you even knew about this one.
I've never. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, Marissa Tomei.
And now you can just put that on your resume. Like, yeah, I may have made it to Broadway. Well, I didn't, but my products did.
Right, exactly. So we also brought some things to just show people what we do. Like this is called bisque when after it's been fired in the kiln. And then this is what it can turn into after it's been painted. So. that
Natural
one out
picture
too. Yeah.
without Snapchat filter, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Katie did that. She is a wonderful, wonderful painter. It's gorgeous.
I do. I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. It'd be great as a fountain, like a water fountain for a table. This would look fantastic as a water fountain.
Now, bisque is when it comes out of the mold, see how it's all gray and looks different? This is our little Fiona that we sell.
I was just getting ready to ask. Yeah, that looks
Yeah,
just
that's our
like
little
her.
Fiona that we sell.
And this one's particularly ready to be made. When it gets fired, it will hang from a Christmas tree. That's what that little wire in its back is.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys pick up during Christmas time? Do you guys see a huge
yeah.
spike during Christmas?
Well,
Actually,
starts now.
it started now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
because Halloween is a huge, I mean, people buy Halloween year round, but last month is when
starts
Halloween
just-
really picked up.
and you're just going to be sailing through to the end of the year.
Yeah, February. February is
Yeah,
we'll
February
be
is
able to
when
breathe
it'll-
again. And that's just another little example of something that we make. And all of this can be done with just acrylic paints that you can buy at the craft store. So
You don't have to worry about, when you paint with the acrylic paints, you don't have to worry about refiring it. If you want it to be the shiny, like the dragon, you just top coat it with a glossy top coat.
yeah.
So is there a community of folks out here that also do this besides you? This is a big country and it's a big world. There has to be someone else out there that does it besides you guys.
There's numerous Facebook groups for ceramics.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's Twitter feeds for ceramics and.
Yeah, we are on Twitter as well.
Oh.
Yeah, well, when you're on Etsy, they give you an option to share your listings on Twitter and, what's the other one?
Pinterest.
Pinterest, yeah. So whenever we list something new, we make sure we send out a tweet about it and put it on Pinterest.
That is
Yeah,
cool.
and this is another, just a little example.
That's our, one of the mansion to our Halloween village.
We have a whole village
It's
that
cut
you can
out.
buy. You know, haunted tree and different houses.
that's cool.
And yeah, very cool.
Well, I can't wait to get this to Nova to paint it so she can metaphorically and literally break the bank. But this is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys have come a long way. You have come a long way.
know.
11 years. That is insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Yep. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing your talent with me and sharing your love with me. There's not a lot of people out there that truly enjoy what they do and they love what they do. So
Right.
may this continue to bring you 11 more years of joy
Thank you.
and just absolute happiness, because I would, nothing would make me happier than just sitting here painting all day. I wouldn't mind that. I would not mind that.
Well, and plus I have a best friend now too, so.
And everybody can find us on Facebook at Magical Mud Ceramics or on Etsy at Magical Mud. No ceramics on that one. Just
ceramics
Magical
on that
Mud. We also have a Facebook group, Magical Mud Ceramics Events, that you can come and watch videos of how I painted some of these things, get some tips and tricks on how to make a lovely piece yourself. Anybody at any age can do this stuff.
So is there any big projects in the works? Any new kind of molds you're looking for? Things we want to keep our eyes out for?
Always.
Always new molds.
You
There's
never
enough
have
molds.
everything, right? You know, we've filled up a whole, 10 by 20 storage unit and both our basements at this point.
And
there's,
garage.
and there's still molds that we don't have that we would like, so
Well, it's a never-ending journey.
it is.
Jenny and Katie, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, I'm terrified. Dayton Unknown will be here. I don't know where this is going to go, but we're going to find out, because it's never a dull moment when they're here. So you stay put. We'll be right back.
Artemis Center is Dayton's domestic violence resource agency dedicated to serving survivors of intimate partner violence and their children. For over 30 years, Artemis has been providing supportive services to increase safety for survivors in our community. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. We know domestic violence can be confusing and terrifying. We are here to provide you with a personalized safety plan, resources, referrals, and a safe space to process your thoughts and feelings. No matter where you are in your relationship, if you're contemplating leaving or wanting to stay, Artemis is here to help you. We encourage family and friends to call us on the hotline. We understand how difficult it can be watching someone you love navigate their relationship when abuse is involved. Our dedicated and highly trained staff can help support you through a variety of our free, gender-inclusive services, which include our 24-hour hotline, support and education groups, therapy for children who have witnessed violence, therapy for adult survivors, accompaniment to criminal and civil courts, help in obtaining a civil protection order, and providing advocacy to aid in your situation. Remember, you are not alone and the abuse is not your fault. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please call our 24/7 hotline at 461-HELP, 461-4357.
Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Callow, and I'm a member of the advisory board for the Epilepsy Foundation, Ohio. Epilepsy is a brain disease where a person has seizures because of an electrical problem in the brain. Anyone who has a brain can get epilepsy. Since 1974, under the name Epilepsy Foundation of Western Ohio, we have served an 11-county area surrounding the greater Dayton region. During that time, we received calls from all over the state asking for our help. That call became too loud to ignore. So, to assure our programs and services are available to all of the more than 126,000 people affected by epilepsy in Ohio, we're excited to announce we've expanded our service area to the entire state, and we've changed our name to Epilepsy Foundation Ohio. Here at the Epilepsy Foundation Ohio, we believe connection is important for those living with epilepsy, whether that's connection to others living with epilepsy, connection to healthcare or community resources, or connection to education and information. To support building these connections, we're developing events throughout this state. These include a new Epilepsy Wellness Expo in Columbus in April, and our Ohio Epilepsy Awareness Day at Kings Island in June. We also offer other family support programs and online resources for epilepsy self-management. While we can't mention everything we have to offer, we are committed to serving those in Ohio who live with epilepsy, whether you have it yourself or you are a family member or friend of someone affected. Contact us to see what we may have for you. To learn more about the programs and services at the Epilepsy Foundation Ohio, please visit our website at www.ohioepilepsy.org. That's www.ohioepilepsy.org, or call us at 937-233-2500. And remember, if you live with epilepsy in Ohio, you are not alone.
I'm Michael Rediger, Director and CEO of the Dayton Art Institute. For the past century, the DAI has enriched our community by creating meaningful experiences with art that are available to all. Those experiences have inspired conversation, action, emotion, and so much more. From humble beginnings, the DAI has grown to be one of the region's premier fine art museums, with an awe-inspiring collection built through the generosity of many donors that spans 5,000 years of art history. It includes works by Monet, Rubens, Edward Hopper, Andy Warhol, and so many others, as well as significant collections of Asian art, African art, and works from the ancient Americas. In addition to our diverse collection, the museum offers world-class exhibitions, family programs, art classes, social events, and more. The DAI is also known for some of the best events in town, including Oktoberfest, Bourbon and Bubbles, Art Ball, and our Bob Ross Auto Group Jazz and Beyond series, as well as being a premier destination for weddings and private events. It is truly a community gathering space that is available to all. The DAI is committed to enriching our entire community by offering free and discounted museum days, offering discounted memberships and admission, and making free school tours available to students of all ages. Art has helped to shape and inspire and inform our community for 100 years. If all that happened in the last century, imagine what can happen in the next 100 years. The Dayton Art Institute is your art museum, and we hope you will help support this treasured community asset, whether it's visiting on a regular basis, becoming a member, or contributing to our annual fund. The DAI depends on your support, and we look forward to seeing you throughout the year. Here's to 100 years and to 100 more.
Hi, I'm Katie Carey, and I'm the Director of Education and Outreach for Clothes at Work, located at the Job Center. Our mission for over 20 years has been to clothe, educate, and empower individuals to prepare them for employment success. Clothes at Work is well known in the Dayton region for providing interview and workplace appropriate attire for local job seekers. Savvy shoppers know us for our fabulous boutique, featuring gently used upscale clothing at great prices. The best part about our boutique is that every dollar spent goes directly back into our programs and services. However, one thing you may not know about Clothes at Work is that we have an amazing workforce development education program. The Workplace Institute was launched in February 2017 when area employers expressed difficulty finding job applicants with necessary job readiness behaviors and soft skills to be successful on the job. A team of professionals from our community representing every industry came together with us and combined their experience in workforce development and education to help us create our research-based curriculum. Each workshop is skillfully designed to engage participants in group discussions, peer-to-peer learning, and fun hands-on activities to help build confidence and professional demeanor. Workshop topics include making a positive first impression, proper professional attire, effective communication techniques, on-the-job conflict resolution skills, and how to build professional relationships. Through our education program, we have provided more than 150 workshops to over 1,500 individuals in just 2.5 years, and our numbers continue to grow. It's no surprise that developing a healthy workforce needs to start at an early age for the health of our local economy. Out of this need, our workshops have been invited into high school classrooms all across the Miami Valley. In fact, 75% of our workshop participants are high school students, and we have presented workshops to students from over 33 area high schools. Close at Work is excited to present workshops this fall with area college programs including Sinclair College and in partnership with Fifth Third Bank at Central State University. For more information about our workforce development education program or any of our programs and services, please visit our website at www.closethatwork.org.
Hi, I'm Jane Anderson, Executive Director of Choices.
And I'm Joe Vereb-Kanich, Board Trustee for Choices. Choices Foster Care brings change to youth and families by providing personalized services and building safe environments. We've been delivering positive change to families in Southwest Ohio for 33 years as a private, local nonprofit. Our three main programs are foster care, where we license foster parents and collaborate with county agencies to place children in your home. Independent living, where we help kids transition from foster care to young adulthood with an emphasis on life skills, education, and vocation. And finally, home-based services with a focus on family preservation and children's mental health. Our commitment towards innovation has led us to be one of the only agencies in Southwest Ohio able to provide in-home counseling for youth enrolled with a Medicaid provider.
So what sets Choices apart? Our belief and adherence to our 5 core values, which are as follows. Compassion. We believe in meeting individuals in their current reality with understanding. Trust. We believe honesty is essential to our culture. Our transparent and ethical actions build trust with our youth, families, and the community. Commitment. We believe in consistently delivering on expectations and go the extra mile to get the job done. Teamwork. We believe great ideas and the best outcomes happen in inclusive environments. And finally, innovation. We believe in developing new and creative ways to serve people. We listen to all ideas. In Ohio, more than 9,000 kids are in foster care on any given day. And more than 1,000 of these children are teens, and many are a part of sibling groups. Our communities have been hit hard by the opioid epidemic, and our children are collateral damage. So many of them have been removed from their families and are in need of stable and loving adults to care for them. To meet this need, Choices is committed to licensing 56 new foster homes by the year 2023, and we need your help to do it. Becoming a foster parent is not as difficult as you may think. All types of families become licensed. Single parents, 2-parent families, same-sex couples, families with children, and families who have never had children. The most important requirement is having compassion for families who are struggling and being willing to help. You need to be at least 21 years old and attend 36 hours of training classes to learn what to expect when you become licensed. Choices staff will also come into your home and conduct several home visits to help us get to know you and your family. We will also work with you to decide what types of children will be a good fit in your home.
If becoming a foster parent isn't right for you right now, we still welcome you to spread the word to your friends and family. You can also show your support through partnerships or donations. More information regarding the licensing process and other ways you can help our youth can be found at our website, choicesfostercare.com.
Welcome back from the commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, you should know who these two are. They've been on my show before, and they are loose cannons at times, but I love them so much. They're the greatest people I've ever met in my life. Hey, guys.
Hey.
How have you been?
Good. Pretty good.
What's new?
I have a baby.
You have a baby.
He's 4.5 months.
What does he like to do?
He likes to scream.
We love that. We do that as adults. It's just not cute anymore. We get looked at as psychopaths, but it's okay.
I'm not sure what the cutoff is, but he's below it. You can't do it.
Like, ma'am, are you okay? No,
I
I'm
have
not
a baby.
okay. None of this is okay.
That's all you have to say. I have a baby. Oh, okay. Just leave her alone. That's a good excuse for a lot of things. I have a newborn. Yeah, it is. I mean, I use it too, you know. You stand in the store and you just like fall asleep while you're looking at grapes, and I've got a baby. They just leave you alone, like, shh, let her sleep. It's fine. They get it.
Yeah, you have someone face planted in the grapes.
It's okay, she has a baby. She's fine, she's got a baby.
She's fine. She's making organic jam, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
an excuse for pretty much any behavior. Or wine.
Or wine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a
Making
baby.
wine. Got a baby.
Yeah. We redesigned Dayton Unknown, and we have a new card. And we bought our domain name, so we're official now.
Bam.
We're DaytonUnknown.com.
This be the card guy.
Da, 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 da.
As you can see, I believe this is the Key Bank Tower right here. If I'm not mistaken. That looks like the landing, but this is sad. I've lived here all my life, and I can't picture all of these buildings in the sky. This is sad, and we're going to move on before I get canceled.
I have a tattoo of the same skyline, and I still struggle. Although I made myself learn which one is which because I have it on my body, but I still mess up sometimes.
Well, hey, that's a nice skyscraper on your right boob. Which one is that? Oh, that's the carrying tower. I don't pay no mind to
I don't know.
It's the left boob. You're welcome for that.
Thank you. So you have a book.
I do. Da, 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 da.
Tell us about said book.
This is called Murder and Mayhem in Dayton and the Miami Valley. So it's 15 stories of different murders that took place historically. It was from 1825 to 1935. So nothing recent, nothing where people are still alive to talk about it. I specifically chose a time period where nobody's still alive.
You sure? I think my ratings for my first episode might be in that book.
Maybe.
It was rough.
You know, your last filming had a couple murders in there.
I didn't write about those.
Yeah, the shade was definitely spraying everywhere. Huh?
It was.
It was sticking. It was like a gel, if you will. But so you picked a era and time where everyone's dead.
Yes. So any family members of victims, family members of murderers, they're all dead. So there's no chance of dredging up some horrible memories for people who are still alive.
They did, Joe.
That was my intent behind it. I mean, the most recent murder was 85 years ago. So
there's one person
Yeah.
that lives in like South Park.
And one guy that's salty.
He was my best friend. I'm like, that's not something you want to say on television, but go for it. So what was the driving force behind you throwing this book together and doing all the research and all that stuff?
Well, since we'd been doing Dayton Unknown since 2014, it was actually the summer of 2018 when I was first approached. And in that, they ended up giving that specific book that he had picked out to someone else who had, it was just kind of a communication thing, like the other guy had been reached out to and responded yes before I did. So 6 or 7 months later, he reaches out to me again and he said, how about murder? And I thought,
love murder.
I'll choose murder.
Like, you have no idea. This is my niche. I love murder.
I woke up and chose violence.
Yes, you did. I have a baby.
I have a baby. I didn't at the time, but you know, you can just apply that to everything in the past. I have a baby.
Pretty much.
Like, ma'am, that was 12 years
Mind
ago.
your business, I have a
No
baby.
My best friend has a baby.
Yeah,
I use it too.
she can try it.
There you go.
How does that work for you?
Pretty well. People just smile and nod. I'm assuming I'm getting away with it.
You don't care if you are or not. You're going to do whatever you want.
Whatever. I got a baby.
She's got a baby.
It's fine. I got a baby.
Pretty much. So what's all in the book? Because obviously it's grabbing my attention by the cover. I like the cover art.
So you have to, if you look this book up online, you got to be careful because there are a lot of books that have a very similar cover. And so what ends up happening is you might get another book by the same company, but they just use the same template. This is actually, it's pretty interesting. This is an artist's depiction of the first Dayton police officer to be shot in the line of duty, to be killed. So that's Leah Lynham, and that's John Francis. On the back cover here. You really don't have to look up too much information to know that. This is Clement Vallandigham. He is a lawyer who is known for accidentally shooting himself while defending his client.
Yes, this was the precursor to the OJ trial, but if the bullet doesn't hit, you must acquit, ladies and gentlemen.
But the bullet did hit. Yes. But they still acquit.
Imagine just shooting yourself trying to defend someone in court.
And he died.
And he died.
He did.
Imagine shooting yourself to prove that the client was innocent by showing a recreation of how the man must have accidentally shot himself and accidentally shooting yourself.
Stay classy, Dayton. Stay classy.
Yeah, imagine. And then, as if that's not bad enough, this picture, the client went and wrote a book, and he drew this picture. Like, this must be what it looked like when my lawyer shot himself. Imagine putting your life out there like that, and your client just draws a little picture, little caricature.
If I had done it, this is what I would have done.
I just want y'all to know. So this is how he ended up getting dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that book was hilarious. Thomas McGeehan wrote a book, basically, here's all the people in my life who made me look bad. And it's a big book. And this was only one chapter in the entire thing. The rest of it was, you know, this guy right here, he did this, he did this. Here's why the public thinks he's terrible. It's a great reference. Got a lot of interesting information for that story.
Nice.
From that.
So how long did it take you to get everything together to put this book together?
Actually, it took me 16 months from the time of getting the approval to the time I turned in the book. Some of the stories actually are from the blog, and we just, you know, we had posted those, and the book company was basically like, yes, you can use those, but rewrite them and make them a little more in-depth. And it really did give me good practice in writing more detailed stories instead of just the Reader's Digest version that we try to give on the blog.
Could we see a sequel to this book?
I'm actually looking at that right now. One of the challenges of finding stories for these books is finding enough information, you know, because some of these stories took place so long ago, and some of these stories took place during other major historical events, such as the Civil War. So it ends up where that story gets, you know, a tiny little blurb, and then something else takes place, like a major battle. And sometimes it's other people who have written about it already. And when someone else wrote about it, it's like, am I going to be adding anything to the story, or just taking their story and writing it again? So it's more I'm trying to find stuff that's not that well known. You know, the unknown.
The unknown of Dayton.
Which is the purpose of our blog.
Bingo. I was on that blog.
You were. And you will be again, I'm sure.
Eventually, at some point, I'll be here. I'll be here. So let's talk about that vacation. Let's talk about that vacation.
For about a week in August, I went on a solo vacation to Savannah, Georgia, and got to explore. It's a really old city, so a lot of history, really cool. I toured a beautiful old cemetery for a couple hours that just has the Spanish moss and beautiful monuments. And that cemetery was founded, I think, in like 1753. So just beautiful. And then I did a dolphin boat tour and saw tons of dolphins. Spent a day at the beach, then explored historic downtown, which is where the famous iconic bus scene from Forrest Gump was filmed, like the bus bench scene. That bench is actually in a museum there. I didn't see it, but it's there like they saved it because it's such an iconic thing. And just explored and soaked in the history down there and had a lot of fun. So.
Anything interesting you brought back, like anything that stood out to you during the vacation that you would write about or we would see on the blog?
I did, they do have those little rocks that you can take and leave places with like a hashtag and kind of follow its progress. I took one of our Dayton Unknown rocks down there and left it. So hopefully somebody finds it and posts it, and we can, like, this rock started in Dayton, left it in Savannah, and then somebody can find it and take it back to their home or wherever and leave it. And it hasn't moved yet or hasn't been posted yet, but I took that down there and kind of keeping an eye on it to see if anyone finds it. We have other rocks that we plan to leave around Dayton to start that, just with little cute little designs or sayings. And Dayton Unknown rocks is how we say it, because we rock. But so that's one thing, but it's just more just relaxation down there and just experiencing a new place. And then I stopped in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge on the way home and went to the Titanic Museum. And you go through the experience with a boarding pass of an actual passenger, and then at the end you find out the fate of your passenger. And it was really fascinating to me that the boarding pass I got was a 36-year-old woman, and I'm 36, and she was a French maid, which I not only played a French maid in a play in high school, but I've always loved French stuff. So it was just really entertaining to me that I got a 36-year-old French maid. And then at the end, I found out she survived, and on the exact date I was there was the 60th, I think, anniversary of her death. That very day, 60 years ago, she died. It was kind of surreal when I read that. I kind of stood there for a moment like, whoa. I was apparently meant to come to this day and get handed that boarding pass. So that was really cool, seeing the history and artifacts actually from the Titanic wreckage. So that was pretty cool too. So the replica, or whatever portion of Titanic they had, so it's actually just a portion of the front half of the ship? Yes, and it's built just to look like it. They've got, I think, just 2 smokestacks, I think. And then the inside, you kind of tour through what it's like to board, and then what you see. And they've got actual letters written, photographs taken. There was I think a priest, his name was Father Brown, that he took the Titanic from Belfast to Southampton, or I don't remember where he did. He was on one of the first legs of the trip before they actually went to cross the Atlantic. And I think it's the only existing photos of passengers on the Titanic, because he had disembarked and wasn't on the fateful voyage. But there's tons of photography that he took. So that was really cool. And then they actually have plates and silverware and whatnot that were rescued from the wreckage, or letters people wrote while they were sailing, and actual artifacts, because the owner of the museum was part of the dives to go down there and salvage things. So it was just completely fascinating, really cool to experience. So how do you feel about researchers and divers going down there to retrieve artifacts? Do you view it as more of a preservationist kind of thing, where you're saving history, or do you view it more as grave robbing? It depends, I think, on what you do with it. They made sure they were very respectful of the remains and didn't want to disturb any of that. But they took the pieces of history, and then there's actually no photography allowed inside the museum to respect what happened and the authenticity of the artifacts, because they are from there and they're the only ones existing, obviously. And so I think it is definitely that specific. There's 2 different museums, one's here and one's in Missouri, not here, but Pigeon Forge, that they make a point to be respectful. And I think that's okay, because it shows history and it's respecting and telling their story. And they're not, selling things to the highest bidder. So I'm okay with that if you do it right. Fair enough. So the blog, what can we expect new on the blog? Because I feel like you guys are up to something. I don't know what. I've learned since this friendship started, it's best not to question. Well, with the book and she's got a baby, if you guys didn't know. She has a baby. She has a baby. With that, we've kind of just slowed down quite a bit and just posting regular stories. I don't think we really have any big plans right now. We've talked about a few things, but we haven't put anything together yet. We still have our merchandise that we don't know if people really know about. It has all kinds of our different designs, and we have some puns. It's about to be spooky season. So we have I designed skulls with, one has a bowler hat and one has a mustache, and they're the Fright Brothers. And I'm so proud of that design.
We actually talked about a whole line of pun designs. Light bulbs, and they're the Light Brothers.
Yep.
What were some of those?
I don't remember everything we came up with.
It was everything, anything that rhymed with right.
Yeah.
We tried to do stuff with, and make it, the bowler hat and the
mustache.
mustaches.
Yep.
And as long as it's iconic and people can recognize that it's a pun off of Wright Brothers.
And we've also, I know it's an existing pun using the right versus right, like the Wright Brothers and right as in correct. Be like, that's the right choice, and just like puns off of that as well. And so we kind of brainstormed that, and just we're spitballing a couple ideas. So
We're always thinking of ideas. If we went through with half of them, the blog would be changing all the time.
yeah, yeah,
But we do like to kind of explore some ideas. Some of them just fizzle out once we try it. There might be, I don't know, a storyline or a series that we think of that ends up just not working once we actually try to do it.
yeah.
Some of them we just never get around to try.
Yeah. And even like the content of the blog, we used to do a whole series about local restaurants called Hometown Eats. We haven't touched that in years. I got on a kick where I've been helping with the writing that I found a lot of really great resources about the Centerville area. So I've been writing a lot of stories about people or things in Centerville. And so we just kind of, whatever strikes our fancy and catches our attention that we want to write about. And it's kind of been a journey where we've covered such a huge myriad of topics, but we still never run out of it. And so there's so much about Dayton and Dayton metro area to share that people don't know. Like this last post was about Aaron Nutt, Sr., who is one of the founders of Centerville, and that's who Nutt Road is named after. And it's just like, who knew that?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that road existed.
Yeah, it's way down in Centerville. Now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, and she has a baby.
And she has a baby.
Yeah.
Can't stress that enough. She has a baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hear me out. A documentary about late night talk shows in Dayton. Honestly, I feel like that would be one hell of a documentary.
Yep.
That would be cool.
You'll be the host and narrator.
I will narrate. I would like to nominate Chadwick Boseman to play me, but obviously he's no longer with us, so we have to resort to Danny Glover. I feel like he would play a great me.
Michael B. Jordan.
I'm not that muscular. I'm just tall and slim.
Close enough. She has a baby.
But it could work. Yeah, she has a baby.
I don't have to say anything. I got a baby.
For the other show in town, I recommend Mel Gibson. He's very toxic, so that'll work out in his favor. It'll be a great movie. I feel like it'll trend on Netflix for about 3 weeks, and then it'll take it off, and then it'll end up on Paramount Plus.
Is that where all the lost things go?
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, you saw Tiger King. That did well.
That's because there were large cats involved. People love cats.
That's true. Yep.
Cats and insane men. So, got any book dates coming up?
I do, actually. I have an author talk at the Greene County Bellbrook Library on September 2nd. That's at 6 p.m. And then there'll be a book signing for the first Friday in the Oregon District in front of Hart Mercantile, and that will be at 5:30.
I'm excited for you.
Get your copy signed or get your signed copy.
Either way, she has a baby.
That's true. Yep.
I love this book. I really do. Can we appreciate this cover art, ladies and gentlemen? But thank you guys so much for being here. It's always a blast.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
You
What
have
she
a baby,
said.
obviously. But Murder and Mayhem in Dayton in the Miami Valley. You can find this book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Carillon Park Gift Shop, and Walmart.com. Highly suggest you read this book. It's a great read. You should. And if you don't, you're uncultured, and your parents never loved you. Sarah and Bethany, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, I got a few things to get off my chest. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Before I wrap things up here, I just want to promote a fellow creator of mine. His name is Zach Damon. He's the host of Ann Arbor Tonight. You can find his show on 11:30 p.m. on Comcast Channel 17 in Ann Arbor. It can also be seen on Roku, on the Michigan Sports TV streaming service, as well as YouTube. You can also find it on Facebook. His IG handle is @Ann Arbor Tonight, and Twitter and Facebook is @A2Night. His YouTube is ZDamon051. He's a fantastic individual, and I like collaborating with him and, basically shooting down the barrel, seeing what works, what doesn't work. He's a fantastic guy. I look forward to collaborating with him soon. You could possibly see him on a Skype interview on the show. I wish you the absolute best, Zach. I love your show. Please keep up the fantastic work. You really are a fantastic man. And that brings me to this. I've been doing this show and been coming onto this channel for what it's worth for the past year and some change, and it's been a lifelong dream for me. It's had ups and downs. I've had a hell of a lot of amazing guests. It's been just about everywhere. I've had just about anyone on this show. Some things will change as we start to wind down the season towards the season finale in December, around New Year's time. You probably noticed the absence of Jammer the Band. As I stated earlier in the monologue, Jonathan Baldwin, the band leader for Jammer the Band, he finally chased his dream, took the leap of faith, and landed, and basically nailed the landing, and he is now the band director for Canyon Springs High School in Las Vegas, Nevada. I cannot begin to encapsulate how proud I am of you. I will miss all of you guys here in the studio with me. We've been through a lot since we started this show. Things won't be the same, but my desk is always home for you. Things will change. Our intro will change as time goes on here the next month or so. We could possibly be looking at a different set, or we could possibly be in a new setting in regards to taping. We could move to a half-hour show. Anything is possible. So with that being said, thank you so much, each and every one of you, for giving me the privilege to come onto your mobile devices and come into your homes and entertain you for 54 minutes for what it's worth. I'm usually funny. Depends on the day. My suits are pretty nice. I'm a nice guy. That's what, and I have a child. Well, she's not a baby anymore. She's a toddler. I have a toddler. So I feel like that justifies me, honestly. I will continue to do this show for many years to come until I get tired of it, or you get tired of me, and I'll just get a podcast like everyone else. But that is pretty much all I got. I want to thank my guests today, Katie and Jenny from Magical Mud Ceramics, and of course my ladies from Dayton Unknown. Thank you, Beth. You don't have a baby. You have a boyfriend. But that's all I got. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.